Hi, Andy Nelson. Imagine you walk into a grocery store. You're going down the coffee and tea aisle. You spot a brand of tea called THCT. That's the brand name, THCT. Would you conclude, or at least question, whether there's actually THC, right, in the tea itself? I bet a lot of you probably would. A lot of consumers probably would. This is the type of thing that could actually run you into trouble in terms of protectability of your mark. Because something like that is, well, it's misdescriptive, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because Apple, for consumer electronics, well, that's misdescriptive too, right? It doesn't have anything to do with the product. And as a matter of fact, I talk about those often as being very good trademarks, because it's an arbitrary use of a real word, making it very distinctive, right? It's very inherently distinctive, which means very legally protectable. So it's a great mark. But if something's misdescriptive and then it's deceptive, that is, it impacts or potentially impacts a consumer's buying decision, that's the type of mark that is going to have trouble, one, being registered if that's what you're looking to do with the Patent and Trademark Office. It's just not going to be registered. And even if you don't register it and just use it, and you just base your rights on just mere use, not registration, you could have trouble enforcing that or protecting it down the road. So THCT, yeah, that is probably deceptively misdescriptive. And as a matter of fact, that's a real matter where the Trademark Office said, no way. That is deceptive. And there's a lot of other deceptive marks out there. They often occur with regard to geographic terms, right? So I come out with a brand of, lobster, and I call it, Boston lobster or something like that. And I get my lobsters, I source them from Timbuktu, right? I mean, a lot of people probably think it's from those lobsters are from New England. So geography is often one of the big offenders, so to speak, but it's not the only one. Consider this one. GI supplies or GI razors or something like that. A lot of us know that term GI to mean government issue or somehow refer to the military, service members. So a lot of folks might think that, there's some extra quality to that product. It's a government supplier, or it's from the government, or it's made for, service members or something like that. I mean, something more, it might affect your buying decision. You might think it's a better product, or what have you. But it has nothing to do with that. There's no connection whatsoever. That could be deceptively misdescriptive. So think about your marks when you're adopting them. Yes, I using arbitrary marks, which are technically misdescriptive in a way. Those may be very good. Make sure that you're not being too cute, and trying to, or even inadvertently creating some association. Think about how the average consumer would perceive your product and your trademark. Is it likely that they may be basically making a purchasing decision on your mark and some kind of information that it may convey about the product? A quality of it, a targeted consumer, an ingredient, a characteristic. If that is deceptive, you may want to think again about using or adopting that particular mark, because it may not be a good investment down the road when it comes crunch time, either enforcement or when you try to register it. You may very well run into a buzzsaw. So, lesson of the day, watch out for trademarks. Don't adopt trademarks. Avoid them if they are deceptively misdescriptive, not just merely misdescriptive, but deceptively misdescriptive. And the test, again, the reasonable consumer, would your mark, your deceptive mark, impact, or is it likely to impact the buying decision? Okay, if it is, it's probably gonna have trouble. Anyway, that's it. If you have any questions about this video, certainly drop a comment, shoot me a note, and if anybody might benefit from the contents of this video, please feel free to share it. Until the next one, have a good one.